Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you to my fellow committee members for their robust line of questioning. Many of my questions have been asked and answered. I want to thank all of you for being here. And as someone who has a name that is often mispronounced, I did just want to get clarity. Is it Bager or Beger?
Sorry, I'll answer just about everything, but my mom goes by Begor.
Okay, Begor. I want to get it right. All right. So we've spoken a great deal about what we consider to be, based on the security breach, the collateral damage, the lack of trust and sense of security by your customers, by consumers. And what we haven't spoken about when we're thinking about collateral damage and sort of accountability, we know that everyday Americans are punished and suffering in terms of their opportunity for social and economic mobility and bare necessities, often for things outside of their control. So here we've spoken about the impacts of the shutdown, natural disasters. We've spoken about medical debt. You were talking about data furnishings from those who may have predatory practices, such as our for-profit colleges and universities, which I want to pick up on that in a moment. But what is unclear to me is, considering the impact of this data breach on 143 million people throughout the country, what was the accountability to your company? Was anyone fired from the board?
There was a lot of accountability. The CEO left. As you know, I'm new starting in April. We have a new chief security officer, a new technology leader. We've changed out 2 of our board members since the data security breach, including a woman who was elected on Friday who's a data scientist, which will be a terrific addition to our board. And then we're investing, incredible amounts inside the company to bring ourselves to industry-leading capabilities around data and security. My testimony this morning talked about the $1.25 billion, which is a 50% increase in our technology and security spend that we'll be doing in 2018, 19, and 20.
Again, I just wanted to make sure that I have that data point correct. It was my understanding from my quick read that there were folks that retired or perhaps were forced to retire, but not that were actually let go. And I just want to know if anyone was fired and held accountable for this breach as a way to restore, the faith in your consumers and customers.
Congresswoman, there was a lot of accountability. The entire senior leadership team in 2017 did not receive a bonus, 0. So that was accountability to that leadership team. As you know, I wasn't there at the time. I joined in April 10 months ago. And then the individuals you could describe, retirement or left the company, but they're no longer employed by Equifax.
All right. Well, I do just think ultimately, if the goal here is to treat people and customers as consumers and not as products, then we can't in any way be complicit to executives that are turning a profit that are unscathed when there are customers that are still struggling to recover from the damage that your company caused. I'll move on. I just wanted to pick up on, you said that if you receive data, if it's furnished from those that have participated repeatedly in predatory practices, that you no longer accept data from them. Are there any companies that you could use as an example and evidence of that?
Congresswoman, I can't name them right now, but I would happy to come back to you with my staff and let you know the names.
Okay. Specifically, I worry about those who have been victims to the deceptive business practices and predatory marketing of some for-profit colleges and universities, really ensnared in a downward spiral of defaulted loan and poor credit that they are digging out from for decades through no fault of their own because they have been victimized. So at this time, you can't speak to any for-profit college or university that you are no longer accepting data from.
No, but I can have my staff reach out to your staff and we'll provide that to you.
Okay. And then what about for those who are the victims of domestic abusers, which impacts their credit? Is there any recourse or anything you do specifically for them? Again, outside of their own control. Any avenue or recourse for those? No? Okay. All right, thank you. I yield back.